Hey, welcome
Hey,
back.
what's up, girl?
Episode Lucky 13. Ign'ant Sports
Yes.
coming at you. Crazy great weekend, man. Awesome. Another great weekend. Another great weekend. I mean, ups, downs, lefts, rights, man. I can't even tell you where I am right now. Although I think overall, I was texting my boy Ryan. Shout out to Ryan if you're watching. I'm happy. I'm happy with how it all landed, with how it all ended. I mean, I can't ask for. I mean, sure, I would have wanted to win this thing we're doing, but
Exactly
can't
right.
complain. Can't complain. Congrats to your Rams.
Yes. Yes. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I was just when I was watching the highlights for the Chiefs and Bengals, because I think I was watching it a little bit since I would be at work, but
Hmm.
I couldn't catch the part where they called up, and I was just like, oh wow. I was like, it's
Oh
not really a
wow,
surprise that
indeed.
they called up, but
Yeah.
it was just like, but how, like how, like to be exact, at the
Yeah.
time, whatever the score was. So while I was doing that, I was like, oh, let me just look at this comment section, and freaking this is what I expected. Everybody's just like, I don't know when was the last time we had a playoffs this good. Like the whole playoffs it was good.
Yeah.
Like in the past decade, like this was like best NFL season in like a long time. And I was
A
like,
long time.
I agree. Like, and I'm glad we did this during this one, because
Right. Right.
I'm just like sitting here thinking like, when's the last time? Like everything's gone down like to the
Yeah.
wire. Like
Hmm.
like literally no blowouts besides the first week, of course.
Right. Yeah. Wild card weekend was
Uh,
a little bit. I feel like
Yeah, wild card was weekends like wild card weekend. Like not every
right.
game can be
Conveniently enough, the
up to par.
Bengals were the only really interesting game of that weekend. I feel like,
Yeah,
but
and here they are.
yeah, I guess yeah, because we talked on it briefly, but it would make more sense to lead the show with just got to talk about Brady real quick. How he's just
Yeah,
exiting. You can't really because we don't really do our non like a news segment, so this will be like our one real news segment of the week. I mean, just gotta give it up to the goat, man. Like, what else can you
yeah,
say?
yeah.
7 to 22 seasons for Super Bowls for seasons, like epic. We'll never see it again. Just what else you can
Yeah.
ask for? What else you can ask for?
Probably, yeah. Is I had more. I never had hate for him. I wanted to find out his history, and I was truly interested when I found out he had a chip on his shoulder, and I was like, oh yeah, like
I mean,
these
pick
the kind of
number
guys,
199, bro. Draft pick number
man.
199. Like, I don't even know
Disrespect.
what that goes up to. It's like what 32 picks, 7 rounds. So there's like I think it's 7 rounds, right, for the draft,
I think so.
something like
Okay,
that. Nevertheless, so
I
seven
thought you were gonna go the
times.
other way.
So 7 times 30 would be 210. So
Yep.
32, add another, 20, 30. So 199, he ain't too far off from not even making the cut.
Man.
199's a lot
Yeah,
closer to not making the cut than it is to
exactly.
being top 100.
Exactly. It's just like, yeah, like, and this is already like halfway into his career for sure, if not a little bit, maybe like three-fourths. So I was just like, oh yeah, well, it looks like he really took that personal, like MJ did in his document.
Right, right.
And he still hold on to that. So it's like good job for him that he was that 1% who actually could like come through and follow through, like y'all made him to prove to the doubters like you made a mistake.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean,
And
I would be remiss if I didn't, and it's going to sound corny as hell, but I just got to say that Tom Brady is without a doubt my idol in life. Like, every time I'm like, damn, what do I do? What do I do? I just think, what would Tom Brady do? Like, what would this
right,
man do? Like, would he do the lazy thing right now, or would he just get in there and get it done? And it's just been great having, he's like, because he's like, what now, 44? I'm about to turn
yeah,
34, so he's like big brother status. He's always like had that
right,
big brother kind of
exactly.
inspiration to always look up to. So it's been great looking at that, and like even now, like looking at it. Because I mean, am I disappointed? Hell yeah, I'm disappointed. I would have liked to see more of the GOAT keep going, but
Exactly.
he don't want to. He's talk as soon as he mentioned that thing like a week and a half ago about like Giselle and like not liking to see him get hit. I'm like, oh no, that's bad. But he's turning it or hanging it up, I should say. Be a family
Yeah,
man, do what he's got to do. Like,
exactly.
and it's like, hey man, that's what goats do, man. They do what they got to do, and then they do what else they got to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, because as always, to be corny, like all good things must come to an end. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like he chose to end on a good note, which I think our best note, close to the best note.
Right, right,
It's like
right.
we made it almost to the Super Bowl, so You know,
I mean, he went out like, and this is just so silly to say, but he went out like Seinfeld, my man, like went out on top. Like he could have kept going, could have made 10, 12, 15, 20 seasons of his show, but like Brady could keep going. The Tampa Bay, they just got a little worn out. I mean, in the way that they got hot at the end of the season last year, they just got a little cold this year. They had the whole AB thing. He was clutch for the times when Mike Evans was out earlier in the year.
exactly.
So the whole thing just kind of fell apart, and it wasn't Brady's fault at all. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is definitely not, the way he drew it up for the season. Even if he already had intentions of like retiring, like cool, like if I could retire with the Super Bowl, cool. If not, like we're just gonna retire however with whatever goes down. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's that. Because I just knew though, I was like, his official statement would come because I was like, they leaked it. I guess you want to say they were saying like 2 days ahead, and I was like, he got to keep it his circle a little more close because I was like, somebody out here spreading this, spread the rumors already.
Right.
But just be on the lookout. And it's just like then he went on the podcast or on his podcast, and it's just like kind of like we seeing day to day, and then it's like it seemed like the next day was like, all right, yeah.
He just wanted to say it on his own terms, which is very
of course, that's what I expected. I was just like, that's what before we were just recording on this podcast, I was just like, yeah, like everybody's saying it. I was like, it's 99, but I was like, we need that 1% from him, like to make it 100, like
because the 1% really is like he might just now not retire just to spite everyone who said he was going to retire.
Exactly, yeah.
But
like,
then again,
people out here
he'd have to explain that to his wife,
it.
which would probably be like the impossible hill to overcome. But he wanted to. It was like, man, I want to, especially with Schefter coming at it. And he was the one who laid on, I think it was the, I don't remember if it was the Deflategate or the Spygate, but I want to say it was one of the two. So I know that Brady had a little bit of lack of love for him specifically in the media. But
yeah,
I'm just assuming, actually, I can't put words in anybody else's mouth. But
yeah.
If someone was talking, if someone was like making a big deal about something that wasn't a big deal, or in their opinion, or if they just wanted something to go away and then someone else kept talking about it, then he would have some natural dislike for them.
Yeah.
Bad taste in the mouth.
Definitely that. But yeah, it was a joy seeing him, and I mean, we definitely not gonna say it's a pro, not a pro. Like we all was like everybody's turning heads like whoa, especially if you had him in your conference. The division is just like no Brady, yes sir. Like it's just like no more hill, no more hill to climb.
Right.
Right, well, let's just say leave it less one hill to climb,
right?
But
one less bump along the road, I guess.
That's it. So
damn, sucks for Tampa. Y'all suck again now forever.
forever, for real.
Like they went.
Who is that? Is it Jameis?
Who?
No, it's Jameis.
Jameis went to the Saints and then got busted up.
So
yeah, it was Jameis forever. I mean, who cares, bro? They're nothing now. It sucks for them, bro. I mean, I don't say who cares, but I am because like it was like imagine if Jordan brought a title to the Wizards. Like just imagine, like the Wizards would have been considered like because right now, I mean, like what's a team that's got like one that's pretty kind of like not respected, but like kind of respected. I'm trying to think of a decent team in the league right now that's like that doesn't have a lot of titles. But there's not really any. I'm trying to think of, man. Like they're really
which one?
You know what? The Eagles. The Eagles. They're kind of like the Eagles now because the Eagles got that one. They beat Brady to get it, and now they can be like, all right, yeah, we got our championship. Because I'm pretty sure that's the only one they have in their history, their team's history. And you have to look at them at least a little bit different. Whereas at least like I don't know if like a lot of these newer teams like Houston, I want to say Tennessee doesn't have any titles, so. You kind of just have to, like Jaguars, I don't think have any titles. You have to look at them a little different now, whereas they're going to be in like that one little class there. But yeah, I think that class is going to, unless they get really, really lucky, like your boy Rodgers goes down there and they get a couple more pieces or something.
That might be.
The only thing,
Jimmy.
Yeah, I was just going to say, to finish that up, is like, because they had that core that Brady was around, but that core kind of fell apart, and I feel like that's why Brady left. So it's give and take.
Yeah. Yeah, and It could be a Rogers. Jimmy could be like, yo.
Well, Jimmy might have to go because
No, yeah, Jimmy for sure is going, but that's what I'm saying.
right,
Jimmy might be like, you
right,
tried others, but it
right.
was only one interception. Come on, I'm not bad, but look how far I got us.
Yeah, and he was pretty busted up. It sounds like. I mean, I think everyone was shocked that they made that as far as that was, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's unfortunate for Tampa. Even in terms of like another news type thing, since we're gonna have a lot less games to talk about, I don't really have the information on it, and I wanted to give it a week to develop. But next week, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the other Patriot counterpart in Bill Belichick, because it sounds like him, Brian Flores, and the NFL are in a little bit of doo doo. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if you heard about that one earlier today.
the
Text,
I feel
emails,
like
this, that, racism,
yeah,
yada
no, actually,
yada,
yeah, because I
the
was like,
whole
I heard
bit,
something
like
about racism.
right, and
I
I'm
just
like,
saw it just right.
and
I was like,
I say
what
yada yada
the
because I'm like, all right, we need every single detail to come out once you start saying that word. So like that's
exactly?
why it's like let's give it that week and we'll figure it all out from there. But it has to do with the Giants too. The Giants like some kind of hiring thing, and that's why Bill's involved because he texted Flores or something. But like if this is the highlighted Ign'ant of Ign'ant Sports, is like this is really
Right,
like some 10% details of the whole matter. So
right.
instead of playing recess, chatter with it, we'll wait till it all comes out.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not even going. Yeah, dare
this
try
week
to
was
touch like
Brady. This week was Brady. Next week we might be talking on Belichick and the rest of the crew.
right.
But yeah, I don't know if you had anything else to touch on Brady. If you want to move on to the games.
Yeah, I was just want to look at the roster real quick, and Ryan Griffin, that kind of sounded familiar, or Blaine Gabbert,
Who,
but I'm just
Tampa Bay's
like,
roster?
yeah,
Yeah.
they both 32, and I'm like, yes,
Oh no, Blaine
like
Gabbert's been like a backup in the league for like 15 years. I feel like.
exactly right.
Yeah.
So I was just like, when I saw that, I was like, maybe him next. I was
Gronk is
like,
gone, bro. I guarantee Gronk is gone. There's no
oh
way he's
yeah,
gonna stay to catch passes from anybody other than Brady, who's
no.
not a top tier
He gonna go
quarterback.
back to retiring. He'll be like, yo, who's trying to make commercials again?
Right, right. I mean, he never stopped. Honestly, he had his
And he has it
dumb
though, yeah.
USA 8, bro. I
Yes.
hate those
Oh my
commercials,
god,
man.
bro.
That could
I
have
was
been
like,
like
why
a
are you?
segment, man, of like roasting NFL commercials because we all watch these same damn commercials. And guess what,
Right?
Gronk? You ain't special, bro. You ain't special. You
But
special in the wrong way.
like man. I was like, when I seen that, I was like, you gonna go with this narrative, huh? And he's just like, yo, paycheck is a paycheck, like.
I mean, yeah, man. Even Brady took some Subway money this year. You can't count nobody out.
Yeah. So
Baker was in more
yeah,
commercials than he was throwing touchdowns. Like,
exactly right.
honestly.
Honestly.
But yeah, man, like this isn't like putting the clothes on the pier because if there's ever like oh yeah, this about Brady, that about Brady, I might even just have a segment, man, like called Brady Insane Stats. Because shout out to my homie Connor, brother of the aforementioned shout out Ryan. We talk a lot of Brady because we're all from New England. But like just the stats, if you look at Brady's stats, like he has unbelievable stat after unbelievable stat after unbelievable stat. So I might like this ain't gonna be the last time we talk on
I wouldn't mind that.
him.
Definitely.
But yeah, man, let's
Well,
get into
yeah.
some of these games. Let's go with that. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, we both went 1-0. Okay, like if we're gonna
Yep.
count our
Yep.
picks,
Yep.
so let's
Yep.
go with the going through. Honestly, that was good for me too, because then that meant that your half game didn't come through. In the end, you won an official by like 3.5 games. If we were gonna
Right.
count like this or that or the other thing,
Exactly.
but it was crazy too because this is like I didn't like I said I haven't listened to a lot of sports media or like I said I was saying off social media, but I haven't been listening to a lot of stuff lately, so I'm not sure people talked about this, but I bet this is a relatively unique take you probably haven't heard before. But this Bengals game, bro, it started off like two other games this postseason. Started off like the Patriots game, they went down 3-21, boom boom boom, just got crushed by the Bills. Tampa Bay went down 3-21, boom boom boom, brought it back. But couldn't quite punch it through. But then these Bengals, bro, they went down 3-21. Boom, 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 brought it back, and we'll get to it, man. But that overtime, they just came through. Defense came through. I was so curious, man, if defense still wins championships, but the defense came
You already
through.
know.
And yeah, that was an incredible game. Like it's got to be. I mean, like I'm not trying to be a hater, but like my favorite game before this one was definitely Green Bay losing, just because it was an interesting loss. Like I couldn't believe
Oh yeah,
special teams
definitely.
came through the way it did. I couldn't believe Rodgers
Definitely.
choked the way he did. Yada yada. But
It was bittersweet for me. It was just like this is a nice like history game. Like you would never find like this again. Probably like the next 20 years.
Nah,
Like you
man.
never special teams really gonna come through for for the
Right.
squad, like, for the
Like I
team.
think
Like,
what special teams put up like all the points. I think it was that game.
basically,
Yeah, I think they put up.
like
No, I think they put up all 13. Right or no? No, was it a field? Oh no, one field. Well, no, because special teams is field goals, right? We've already established that.
exactly, yeah. So
So special teams put up every point. But yeah, crazy game.
really was. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like to your point of the 21-3, they I think if I'm not mistaken, this was the game. The commentators even mentioned it. They were like, "This happened to the Chiefs last time, where they were up on against the Bengals,
Yup.
and then they
Let
let them
off the
come
gas.
back."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, I think that's gonna happen again.
Was I talking to you? Was it last episode? Were we talking before about 28-3? How I said I'm like the only advantage that New England has right now is that they're. Did we not? No, maybe I talked about it maybe to my friend, but like at that moment I was thinking, 28-3. The only thing that New England's got going for them in that Super Bowl is that they think they won the game already straight up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what it is, man.
I think you might have mentioned it like that, yeah, because I was like, I know I brought it up like when I was like when it got to 27-3, I was just like,
Yeah,
it was
I
like
think
Brady's
that's
like,
yeah, exactly.
Brady was like, I've seen this before.
Right,
I was
right,
just
right.
like, oh, here we go.
Which is crazy too, because you would think that the Chiefs would remember, and they would have had their memory recent to even last week, where they only had 13 seconds left. So crazy.
You want to know something ironic? I just saw before that. So somebody made a meme. He was like, last time he only needed 13 seconds to win. This time it only took him 13 seconds exactly to lose. I was like, wow. It was like 14:47, or not 47. Would it be 37?
14,
No, yeah, 47.
14, 47,
14:47. Yeah, right.
In what, overtime?
No, in overtime off the clock, like when he threw his interception.
Oh my
Like,
God!
literally 13
Really? Damn, that's crazy.
I was like, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous irony, bro. Like at first I was like, I'm not gonna front, bro. At first I was like, is he using irony correctly here? Because you know how that word goes around. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is actual irony. God damn, that's nuts, dude. I didn't see that one yet. That's another thing too, man. Is I've been trying to like, I love watching sports shows and like being in the Reddit and all that, but like it's nice to not, because then you like miss things like that. It's like,
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
No spoilers now. Damn, that was good.
Yeah. So
That's
I
cool.
was just like, that's crazy funny, but
Yeah.
the one thing I think the Chiefs messed up at was these two are up at 21-10 by the half, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before they go to the half,
Oh yeah, dude, straight up. We all know. That's a big one, dude. That's one of the ones that I heard people talking about that I'm like, I don't want to even bring that up straight away, because I know, man, that's like, oof, that's just that's not a Patrick play. Like you don't really see him do that kind of thing ever. So, and it was all downhill from there.
yeah, it was like, why? Like you got like, I think it was like 10 seconds or less, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
You took your first shot with the pass. All right. Touchdown's off the board now. Go for the field goal, please.
Right.
Go just another extra 3 points. And had they gone up the extra 3 points, maybe, and not even maybe. Well, yeah, we'll say maybe. So say maybe, as if everything played the same way.
Exactly.
They when fourth quarter came, Bengals would still be down 3 points after they kicked their field goal and in the game. So
right, 100%.
hope you watch that back in the tapes. Chiefs and offensive side at least, because defensive side ain't got nothing to do with that. So
Very reminiscent of the Dallas mess up. Just misplayed the clock. I mean, I know one was at halftime, one was at the end of the game, but nevertheless, it really affected it the same way.
It's just like, why go for a touchdown? Try to go for it again, and then out of all things to go for like a screen pass, like really.
Right.
It was just like, I know those sentences could work, but like sometimes like they snuffed that out quick as heck. So I was just like, all right, bro. But yeah, it's just like, good job the Bengals. I'm truly happy for Joe. Like I felt like they had to them, like, as long as they keep trying to pound it, get the ball back. Defense hold up their end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, like if you wasn't gonna say it, I was gonna say it. I was like, defense wins championships. Like that's the mentality I've been taught when I was growing up in basketball and stuff like that. And I believed just anywhere you go, like whenever there's an offense versus defense, 1v1 versus opponent, it's just how good is your defense?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll
so,
always think
so
back to the Malcolm Butler interception. How even watching that real time, I'm like, Bill's not calling no timeouts. He's not calling nothing. He's just letting the game play out. He's just saying, my defense, your offense. Let's see how it happens. And like the
yeah,
unbelievable, miraculous happened. But in this game right here, if you were listening to the commentary at the time, I'm not sure if you were able to with the replays and this and that, or you were working. But Romo was talking about like letting them score, like the Bengals letting KC score because they were looking like they were about to drain the clock. They were looking like they were about to walk down and then just kind of score and end the game like a walk off basically. So give them
right,
less than 13 seconds or no
right.
time at all. Until I mean we didn't even really touch on the end of the game yet, but they marched down the field so easily and so run. They beat the 2 minute. What do they call it when they stop it?
2 minute marker.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2 minute warning.
the 2 minute warning. Yeah,
Yeah,
like they basically they ran the ball, they got it, they ran it again. So like the Bengals had to race all the timeouts. Basically, they played them. They got it, they
yeah,
did everything until like the very
yeah.
final red zone series. They just couldn't punch it in, and then I guess since we're talking about it, now I'll get to like that play, man, like that very last play where I guess not the very last play was the field goal, but before that one where Mahomes had basically 10, 12 seconds, and then like that guy just kind of came down the middle and had to
Yep.
tackle him because.
Yep, because he was just like, "This is you. You got too much time." Like he's
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm doing nothing. And when I seen it too, like I was like, "Yo, you got a lot of time." And then I looked a little further ahead. I was like, "Oh, he's like quarterback sneaking, kind of like spying." I'm like, "He's finna come in." He was like, "Whether he
Right.
gets to tackle or not, like he's finna put the pressure on you now." And I was just like, "GG's."
Because defensively, they only had it was like man for man. There was like only three or four
Yeah,
guys, I forget, and like they were all kind of like one huddled up, bunched up. Like everyone's blocking. It's all good. It's all
yeah,
clean.
everybody's doing, yeah,
Now, like one thing that I even thought about after the fact, and I know this is like a little bit more risky, but if you think about it, that homie who came down the center and tackled him, like when you notice when they kicked that field goal, they had 2 or 3 seconds left. I forget which, but if you guys just play defense for like 2 or 3 more seconds, and you don't let them throw a touchdown, the game ends right there, and you guys are up by 3. So
yep,
him tackling Mahomes actually gave the Chiefs the position, the this, the that, the chance to kick the
yeah,
field goal. So
yeah,
that they could have just won the game right then and there. Not even considering how Mahomes fumbled the ball and then KC had to recover the
exactly,
fumble. So
exactly.
everything went right there for them to even get into overtime. So like Bengals really came back and just whooped on them. Like that was just
Oh yeah,
a
definitely. Yeah, that
crazy,
was you can't deny that. Like they
crazy.
both sides did their part, offense and defense, and like we was just saying, like speak of on in overtime. Oh, what do you know? Everybody brought up the jokes like who won Kansas? So here we go again, right? And
Yeah,
it's just like no, hold on, like let Bengals show you how it's done, and Bengals show you how it's done. You play defense 3 and out, our turn to our turn with the ball. And
they didn't even get the full out. They only played defense 3 because that third. I mean, really they played defense. They almost had to play defense 2 because Eli Apple almost had that pick on play.
yeah,
Was it 1 or 2? I forget which, but like he almost had that pick.
yeah, he almost.
So 2 of the 3 plays, one of them was almost a pick, one of them was a pick. So yeah, Bills. That's how it's done. That's how it's
Exactly.
done. I
That's
don't
how
want to
it's
hear
done.
no, and it's crazy. But I bet when I listen to the news radio all week that I'm sure they'll touch on it a little bit, but there's not going to be any clamoring to get this rules changed immediately
Nope.
because if you just play the game way we've been playing the game, then
But 60 minutes.
right. I mean, it's fair enough, man. It's fair enough. Like you got both
like,
teams got plenty of time to do what they got to do.
like you literally have to just play defense and then get to score any kind of way, field goal or touchdown. Like it's
Honestly,
like so.
like it went so. I know we talked about the rules and this and that in the video, but like we'll go back and check it out. But I bet that it was the way where you only had to score a field goal to win for like at least 30 years. Like if not 20 guaranteed, but it had to be at probably 30 years plus.
Yeah. It was a good, a
For just
good
and
amount
so
of time.
and I mean no one really complained about that until all of a sudden now we got people who can score touchdowns easier apparently
hmm
sometimes maybe.
hmm
I mean that's definitely that overreaction Monday type nonsense where it's like we got to change the rules immediately because of what happened yesterday. then we're talking about
Exactly.
like 10 out of 11 times like that the coin toss is won. It's like maybe. I mean, that's kind of the isn't that like the point of home field advantage and this and that? So like, why are you trying to negate that by just I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
actually, I guess
it.
no. I guess that might not make sense when I say home field advantage, but that's
Well,
just
yeah,
credit to the defense or to the away team coming
right.
through and tying the game up. So now you want to hurt the away team more by giving both teams both, or I guess you're giving the home field advantage because they came through, they had to tie the game up, and it's harder for them to go into overtime than it is for your home team to go into overtime. So I just see no reason to change it, and we're probably not going to hear about that again unless some crazy nonsense happens in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. One last thing I just want to touch on, just for anybody future reference that's watching, and you want to be on the head coach of anything, any sport, especially like a football. Um, if you going into half, right, you're gonna get the ball back. Definitely don't go for another chance for the dang touchdown if you don't have enough time. Like I was like that really had pissed me off, and I was like, oh, it'd be different if they weren't gonna get the ball, for the second half. But you're gonna get the ball, like you could be guaranteed up on 3 points, and then hopefully score again another 3 points or a touchdown when you come back from the half. But teach us on with Kansas and their decision making. So
I mean, that's like why the Chargers didn't even make it into the postseason was for just too many field goals left on the field.
exactly. So yeah, people forgot that, and they didn't hopefully learn now. So Bengals is just like go ahead and enjoy that seat on the couch and watch us try to continue this Cinderella story. But
Yep. But the Cinderella story ended unfortunately for my man Jimmy Garoppolo. But like I said, I couldn't even believe that they even got there. I think a lot of people felt the same way. They looked a
oh yeah,
little.
definitely.
They didn't look quite as beat up as I expected them to. I thought they were going to be a little more hobbling, but honestly, at the end of the game, like it still showed. It definitely still showed.
Yeah. In the beginning though, it was looking like, oh, here we go again. Like this is just like the Packers, and just without a touchdown. And I'm like, all right, our defense isn't really looking like the Donald and Von Miller isn't looking like Donald Von Miller. And I was just like, everybody always talk to praise him up, and I was like, I be want to praise him, but I was just like, I haven't seen it yet. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I've seen it in Arizona in the past seasons, but I was like, I need it this season. I
Right.
was like, we
Right.
need it now. And I was just like, I'm trying to hold out faith. And when it got to 17-7, I was just like, for sure, if we don't stop him again after this, I was like, it's done deal. Like, we're not coming back. And thankfully, that defense woke up in fourth, and they never scored again. And we scored 13, so just enough. I was just like,
Yeah, but
thankful, because
not quite the showing at all of the last couple of weeks. So it was I don't know if it's just the matchup or if like KC gets cold, they got cold, but yeah, not the Rams that I was expecting to see. Like to say that the Rams won the game before it started, you'd be like, duh, of course. But to say that they got lucky to win, not lucky, but like to say that they were down 10 and had to come back,
exactly.
that's unsurprising. And like only putting up 7 in the first half, very unsurprising.
Yep.
So
Yeah. It's like, kudos to the 49ers defense. You held up for the first half, three
right,
quarters,
right.
but it's a 4-quarter game, um, and yeah, it's just you gotta play all 4 quarters. I mean, it also is dumb on Jimmy though. Like, I mean, there's really no way they could have really made it. I mean, that would have been definitely the definition of Hail Mary had he not thrown the pick as he was falling.
Yeah.
But yeah, my man's had that. I feel like that quarterback syndrome where it was just like, oh no, I know they were either already going to be on third, they're already on third down, or going to be going on third down, and like for sure 15 yards or more, and it's just like, bro, you just got to take that sack like Joe. You just got to take that
Yeah.
sack, bro, and just keep rolling with the punches. Like Like it'd be different had this be the first day where Hail Mary got introduced, you know. But Hail Mary's been around for a long time, so it's that like that's not you can't act like that's not going to be your last resort, like
Yeah,
and it's the reason why we call it Hail Mary.
I'm
So,
sure he's just feeling it at that point in time. He's just looking to not get
oh
hit
yeah, definitely.
again, and you can't blame him. You can't blame him.
I
Like
like
that's why I can't blame Brady retiring. It's like I wouldn't want to be out there getting hit either.
yeah, like it was like I it's like half and half. Like I see he did it because more along the line because I didn't get the guy's name, but his like running back or fullback was like right there in front of him. So he was just like, oh, well, like this is easy. I can flick. Like I got enough arm strength to flick it, and like yeah, you flicked it a little too high.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, man's just like, I'm only 5 feet. Like, what are you doing? Like, you threw it 6 feet. But this is like, dang, son. But of course, I was like, yes, sir. I needed Jimmy G to come through and be Jimmy G. Like,
Yeah.
because Matt Stafford started off looking like Matt Stafford from Detroit. And I was like, come on, bro. I was like, we can't do that against this team. Like, as long as Devo's looking good, um, we can't we can't do this against
Right.
this team. I will say too though also that this game definitely was what as Troy was saying lenient. They were being lenient with some calls. There were some missed penalty calls
Yeah.
as far as like delayed game and because my boy I told him I was like GG's he's like man they missed four. I was like you could say that. I
They
was like
they
but at the
miss
same
a
time
The more I learn about football, the more I learn about missed calls, and just every game has a lot of missed calls on both sides. So that's just come to be expected at this point for me,
yeah
honestly. It's
yeah
three
so
teams out there, bro. It's the black and white, and then the other two color teams. So
exactly.
you just gotta roll with that.
Yeah, and because I told him I was like, well, yeah, they miss these things right here too. And I was like, man, at the end of the day, like and I watched the highlight video and it was a play I did know that they missed. It was clear as day, like somebody holding, and it was just like, you guys got away with that, like So it's just like we
Yeah,
all can pick and choose, like, well, you got away with this. So I was just like, at the end of the day, like both defense officers still have to do their job and try to play as clean as possible. And then it's like, yeah, you always just start making dumb mistakes at the end, like dumb, unnecessary penalties and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah.
I was just praising. I was just like, yes, yes. Oh, shout out to though Cam Akers for I think we were on third down. He had a great block for Matt Stafford. It literally gave Matt like an extra second or two that he needed to just like throw a dart to Cooper Cup for us to get the like third first down and plus a big yardage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other unsung hero that was really unsung hero, Blandon. How do you say his name? Basically, our backup tight end. Because when Higby went down, I was like, ugh, like
Looks like Blanton.
yeah, Blanton, Kendall Blanton. And I was just like, ugh. I was like, ooh, I hope this tight end, whoever's gonna come in, if he ever comes in,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be great. And my man's was 5 for 5, and I
Yeah.
said, yes, sir. I didn't know he's 5 for 5, but I knew he was high percent. Like he caught most of them that I saw, and I was like, that's what we need. Like he caught a couple, I think a first down here and there, and just others that help us get closer to first down. And I said, yes, sir. Like your number haven't been called a lot, but when it got called, you came through. And I was like, we needed that because it's just like it can't be the Cooper Cup and Odell Beckham Jr. show like all day.
Right.
So it was like, that's where Higby would come in, but he had the knee injury. I think that was because I think
Something like that early in
Akers,
the game.
yeah, yeah, because Akers I think was the shoulder one, and I wasn't quite sure if he was gonna come back, and I was just like, bro, like we had injuries in the beginning, and I was just like, nothing's going our way.
Everyone's beat
It's
up,
like
man, this time of the
it
year.
was just like, oh man, I don't know if we could do it, but they pulled through.
They pulled through, man.
Oh, and then that one crazy thing too, Eric Weddle, how they was like he came back out of retirement, I guess, or he just got like they just called him up and he was like playing basketball in a pickup game. He was like, yeah, I'll come through. I was like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah, I know they were talking about him, but I didn't hear exactly
Yeah, like so apparently like he was staying like playing pickup basketball just to stay in fit, just in case of a day like this, and it was just like, yo, you wanna go play in the play this
That's
playoff
funny.
game? It's like, yo, we need all the defensive veterans like come
That's
through,
funny.
like, so appreciate it too.
Yeah, man, that's
Coming in.
crazy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so yeah, that's that, and
But yeah, man,
happy for my team,
congrats,
and
congrats. Yep.
I think we can still do it. I think um, we definitely can't mess up like start slow like this. I think against the Bengals. I think they would definitely punish us harder than 49ers. But
Yeah, I mean, if you especially too if you look at the it's kind of funny. I don't know how to word it, but like look at the box scores. Like they kind of like they get lower and lower and lower. Like as the season progresses, like the Super Bowl is very rarely. I feel like the Brady and at Eagles, like the one that they slash we lost,
mm-hmm,
was probably one of the higher scoring Super Bowls. But
mm-hmm.
yeah, these that'll be tough. It'll be tough to put up 20 and beat the Bengals, but we can save that for our pick episode, like the
Yeah,
preview.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly, yeah,
we're gonna this is gonna be our first episode with no picks. Actually, we're only gonna do the review because we only got a week. We need to
exactly.
we need something for y'all next week. Not gonna really be covering
Yep,
the
yep.
Pro Bowl too much. I mean, the skills competition
Nah,
is not my cup of tea. Actually, it's actually the skills competition is way more interesting than the Pro Bowl to me personally. Just to watch them
right.
like throw balls through like moving little targets and whatever. Like that's actually
Exactly.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
cool.
That's
But
yeah. That's yeah. It's impressive.
but watching this like I don't know why they thought a game based around tackling would want to be played when you wouldn't want to tackle the other person. So like I don't know. Like even the All Star game in basketball is a little whack, but because the contact can like be kind of like both sides can like omit it and you can just like have a shooting contest, like okay, whatever. But in
Yeah,
football,
yeah,
it is truly stupid. It is
yeah,
truly
yeah, yeah,
useless.
yeah. I felt like yeah when I was um starting to like get more into NFL, and I was like, wait a minute, like who gets to go to the Pro Bowl? Because I was like, I don't want my players going
Right, right, right.
like I don't want some
No
homeboy
one
who be
wants to
like, I
play an
can't
extra
wait.
game.
Yeah, and I don't want homeboy over here to be like, I finally get to hit you now. Like,
Right.
I get hurt hard there because like I'm out for the season. Like we're not making it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but I made it here, and it's just like, yeah, no, no, and I clearly saw like players would be like, it's just kind of like, hey, let you go. Like, kind of like they might as well put flags on them. Like, we're gonna play flag football for the week.
Honestly,
Yeah,
bro.
like,
Which I'm not even gonna front, man. I wouldn't even care about that. Like people diss on flag football like it's some ridiculous thing, and it's like whatever, dude. Like it's just more of an agility contest than it is a. At that point, though, I guess like then how do you define blocking? Like, can you still block in flag? I guess not. I guess so, but like you can't do it rough. Like I don't know. I guess that would be kind of stupid. Because to me, I guess
yeah,
football is like it's blocking and tackling. Like that's the clear physical part you need to have football.
yes,
So I don't know how you'd play it any other way. Yeah, you'd
yeah,
have
I
to
don't
just do
know,
some
but
like some crazy like what you call it like mini golf like windmill stuff like throw the ball through the windmill to the receiver or whatever. Like
right,
I don't see
yeah,
you can't have
something.
the linemen though. Like their entire thing is to get up and just start hitting each other. So I don't see how you can have linemen in a Pro Bowl like respectively.
Exactly. So I'm like, hopefully. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I think ever since that day, they're still trying to figure it out. Like, what are we gonna do? But
Right.
to that day, the players could care less because they just want the what's written in stone. Which is I'm a Pro Bowler.
Right,
It's
right.
like,
Which
what,
is so
and it's like
weird
at
too, because
least
when you break it down, it's like, who cares? But at the same time, it's like you want to be selected to be amongst the best, but you don't want to
yeah,
actually do
because
what's required of you after that point.
exactly, yeah. It's like you want to just be selected. That's just another accomplishment to say like I was somebody. I was
Right.
something great to this league,
Like I'm
and
not sure how they choose it, but like assume like a top X whatever of your position, and like, cool.
yeah, yeah. I would imagine like yeah, as long as you like got the good numbers and ranking in your position, this is like yep.
Yeah.
We got enough spots, and you make it. You make the cut.
Right, but I don't think I've watched the most amount of Pro Bowl that I've watched over the last like 20 years has just been when you like just pass the TV and it's like, oh yeah, that's on. and then you just keep
Yep.
going.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So,
Because everyone's always,
that's it.
even when the Pro Bowl is going on, you're still thinking about the Super Bowl. Like, it's
Oh
also like a
yeah.
weird time of the year to have it. Like, you'd think they would want to have it, like, I don't know, like after the Super Bowl, like sometime when it's like you'd want to watch something, you'd want to like tune in to just see the players. Like, oh, I haven't seen the players since like they're like maybe a month after the Super Bowl. It's like, oh yeah,
Right.
I missed seeing these guys. They're all gonna come together for this little exhibition game. Okay, that's kind of cool. But like a week before the most hype, between the most two hype games of the year,
Right.
or like I guess the two, one, the three, like one, two, the two championship games, and then the one. But between the most hype weekends of football, you want to throw in the most useless game imaginable.
Exactly. They're like, yeah, this fits right in there. Not like we're not gonna do like NBA where we play halfway, which just makes sense, I guess, because
Even
like
then,
since
too,
this is
yeah.
what I was like when I think about it is like, of course, like we talked about last time, it was like this is a physical sport. We got to think about the health. So it's like I'm pretty sure they like we would love to put it halfway in the season, but I don't know. Maybe it will work out because he's like, okay, you get to take a break, at least if we get beat up, kind of,
Right,
I don't know.
right.
I don't know.
There should
Hopefully
be
they figure it out.
they should change it, bro. They should go from the Pro Bowl to the No Bowl, and the worst players they all got to play, and tackling is like you have to tackle.
Right? But this is your time to shine.
Right. It's like
Like
it's
the
like
minutes you
there
want.
ain't no one good out there, so let's see what you can actually do.
All right. You might make the cut.
The cut of the No Bowl championship.
The Nobel Championship.
But
All
yeah,
right.
man, I think that's about all I've got, minus the get in that Discord. We gotta get in there
Yes,
for our picks and
sir.
stuff too. Get a little more active ourselves. But get down in there, get it. Give us what's your picks for the Super Bowl, or you can let us know for next week because that's when we're gonna save ours.
Yeah.
Let y'all know. But yeah, what was your favorite part about the weekend? Because you gotta get some of that activity going. And plus,
Yes.
like I like to talk football more throughout the week than just like these 1-2 days. So trust me, man,
Oh yeah,
we like to talk the
definitely.
game.
Yes, yes, please. Link will be in the description as always.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, give
And
us
we look
that
forward.
like and share, sub, the whole bit, obviously.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I saw the I think that was our last video. We got up to a couple hundreds. I
Yeah,
think
so we
views.
appreciate everyone who's tuning
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I
Enjoy
really
all
do.
the new watchers.
Yes, please do. We have future plans ahead and
Oh yes, yes,
trying
we'll
to come
bring
up with
that
some
up next week. I guess that'll
ideas.
be a big topic for our post
Yeah,
Super Bowl plans.
yeah, just to get you excited, feel something, be on
Right.
the lookout.
We should just say it this way, man. It's a good thing we named it Ign'ant Sports and not Ign'ant
Yes,
as NFL talk
we
from week
exactly.
1 to Super Bowl.
I can give you all that credit though for the fact that your channel was called for the win strategy and you had
True.
the same mindset. So
Yes,
I've
ambiguous yet generally in the same topic of what you're trying to go for.
exactly. So I
Specific, but
was
not
like,
too specific.
yeah, I'm willing to go with. I think this is the perfect title for now, at
Yeah, for
least.
sure, for sure.
to so
Until
we
we
can
become
we're
experts
not
at it, we can have like maybe an expert segment if we ever become good enough at any one thing.
right.
Because like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, man, and I'm this could be another cool segment too that we do before we end. Is I actually started reading the NFL rulebook, so maybe I'll be able to bring in a couple quick tips. In fact, maybe first segment, quick little thing right here. I actually saw something super interesting in the NFL rulebook. It might have been like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Remember there was a couple kicks that like really were decisive, and they all like made it by like nothing, like hair kicks.
Yeah.
Okay, so they tell you the measurements and everything, like the field of this or that. Apparently, kind of like how in baseball you can like have like a couple little choices here. Like it's nowhere near the same with NFL, but apparently the bar can be between. And this is gonna sound so stupid and so weird, but I only bring it up because we talked about those hairline kicks. The bar
Yep.
can be between 3 and 4 inches. It's not a specific number. So I want to go back and actually check some of those games and check some of those stadiums and be like, if I can find out if they were kicking in on the 4 bars or those 3 bars, because those 4 bars they might have missed. If they got those three
Right.
bars, they might have actually been like, all right, you wouldn't have won that game if you were at a stadium with a four
Exactly.
bar. So
Right.
interesting little tidbit. Number one that I found was that some of these games might have been decided another way if these bars were another size. But yeah, I might be coming at you with some more NFL facts rules because it was that illegal man downfield discussion we had where I was like, bro,
Yeah,
I just don't know the rules of the game. Like if you can
right.
get like a 35-yard play taken away because some guy blocked for another foot, then clearly I don't know what's going on. I got to figure it out, and then that could be the segment of a little bit less ignorant ass sports up in here.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I had something too, but I probably might have my notes or somewhere else.
We can have a
That I
specific segment,
learned,
and we'll
but
we'll prepare a little
yeah,
something for that.
because I ain't gonna sit here and lie, but like, yeah, I got two and two, like, like, nah, I give up all mines in past episodes, so
Yeah, no, it's you got to go
and stay
digging for him.
tuned.
You got to go
Oh
digging
yeah,
for him.
definitely.
But
Because
yeah, for
yeah,
sure,
if you
man.
don't learn them during the game, so
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But yeah, man, good one as always, and thank you
Yes,
all. We will
sir.
talk to you
Thank you
soon.
all. Deuces.